Unit 2. Know how to support clients who take part in exercise and physical activity. Providing customer service. Aim of the session: to understand how to provide ongoing customer service to clients. Learning outcomes. By the end of this session, you will be able to explain the importance of client care both for the client and the organization. Explain why it is important to deal with clients' needs to their satisfaction. Identify where to source relevant and appropriate information to meet clients' needs. Explain the importance of dealing with any delay in meeting clients' needs timely and effectively. Give examples of how to exceed customer expectations when appropriate. Explain the importance of handling client complaints positively following an organization's procedure. What is a customer? Anybody whom you have dealings with. So although customers are generally thought of as people who buy a product or service, everybody from client to colleague is a customer. Customers are the lifeblood of the health and fitness industry. Typically, customers are thought of as people who buy a product or service, but as the above definition reveals, in essence, everybody from client to colleague is a customer. Maintaining good customer care is important for the client as it will mean they are more likely to enjoy their experience within the health and fitness environment, which will encourage a long-term involvement with physical activity and health. It is also of benefit to the organization as it helps secure repeat business and referrals. Customers will ask questions, need guidance, and want information. They will expect a level of instructor competence, equipment to be both safe and up to date, and will demand fast and efficient action when required. Customer care. A high level of customer care can help secure the following benefits: client, more enjoyable experience, encouraging a long term involvement with physical activity and health. Organization benefits: help secure repeat business and referrals. Elements of good customer service. Good customer service is dependent upon careful consideration of each of the following four areas: expanding the definition of service, knowing who the customers are, forming positive relationships, and developing a customer friendly attitude. Expanding the definition of service. Meeting customers' expectations. Customers will ask questions, need guidance, and want information. They will expect a level of instructor competence, equipment to be both safe and up to date, and will demand fast and efficient action when required. Should the instructor not have the necessary skills or knowledge to provide the customer's direct needs, they could offer to inquire elsewhere on their behalf. Taking the time and effort to go the extra mile in trying to help can make all the difference satisfying the customer. The extra mile a health and fitness professional may go can make all the difference in satisfying the customer. Giving the client a call to check how they are progressing with their exercise regime or how they felt the day after a session with the instructor would be an example of exceeding customer expectations. Knowing who the customers are. Customers can be classified as either external, people who pay for products or services such as health club members; internal, managers, cleaners, receptionists, maintenance staff, and other healthcare providers. Since these are people upon whom the instructor often relies upon for support, information, and products, the instructor effectively then becomes a customer themselves. Throughout the day, there will therefore often be a customer chain whereby there is a need for interplay between both external and internal customers. The customer chain is the term used to define the relationship and interplay between external and internal customers. Ultimately, this interplay will always affect the external paying customer. Imagine a paying customer, who's external, makes a complaint regarding there being no hot water in the showers. The instructor follows this up by notifying the maintenance team. The health club maintenance team would be classified as the internal customer, generally having no contact with external customers. However, in this situation, the instructor has become the internal customer and the action they take ultimately affects the external paying customer. Throughout the day and at any given instant, expect to become the customer as well as the customer being someone else. Forming positive relationships. Positive relationships. For both high retention and positive recommendations, it is vital to have happy customers, and building an effective rapport between instructor and client has a significant effect upon this. Customer instruction and rapport can be established through effective communication, utilizing active listening, body language, tonality, and use of language. Here are a few examples of active listening: nodding, leaning forward, using positive facial expressions, eye contact, and developing the art of paraphrasing, reflecting, summarizing, and focusing. Here are a few examples of body language. React to the senses, i.e., sight and touch. Be aware of the client's personal space. Be warm and friendly. Avoid crossing arms when interacting, as it can appear hostile. Avoid aggressive acts such as pointing and standing over the client. Use hand gestures, smile, and eye contact. Here are a few examples of tonality and use of language. Tone and pitch. Use rhythm. Ensure an honesty in the voice. Richness, warmth, and volume to be appropriate. Match customer words and use appropriate language. A relationship of mutual respect and influence, revolving around the ability to see the world from the customer's point of view. Developing a customer-friendly attitude. It must always be remembered that customers are the reason the business exists. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. First impressions count. There's only one chance to make a good impression, and no matter how busy the instructor, it takes no time at all to smile and use the client's name. The customer-friendly attitude can be further summarized using care, consideration, active listening, responsiveness, and empathy. Number 1, consideration. Always offer to help. Don't make promises unless they can be kept. Integrity and honesty. Always be honest about the service provided. Consider the customer's circumstances and feelings. Active listening. Listen to the customer. Show customers that they are being listened to by responding appropriately. Responsiveness. Go the extra step. If a customer asks a question, don't just pass them to someone else. Make the extra effort to respond in person. Add something extra. Offer an alternative like a free fitness session or discount. A gesture of goodwill is a sure way to maintain a positive relationship. People love getting more than expected. Deal with complaints promptly. And lastly, empathy. Be non-judgmental and understand customer needs. Customer complaints. At some point, an instructor will have to deal with a customer complaint or complaints. The key is not to take the complaint personally and become defensive. Look at a complaint as the customer providing valuable feedback. How the problem is dealt with will have a direct bearing on how the instructor is perceived and will leave a lasting impression on the customer. Remember, the client may not just be displeased, they may be upset, confused, disillusioned, or angry. In the event of a complaint, the following action should be taken. Listen and take ownership of the complaint. Always be polite. Remain calm and never enter into an argument. Record the complaint and fill in the complaint form. Acknowledge receipt of the complaint and reassure the customer. Offer a point of contact. Advise the client of possible solutions or alternatives, and ensure the client is pacified before leaving. Inform relevant persons to the problem and feedback to the client on progress. It is important to keep the customer informed of the progress being made when looking to deal with complaints. This is particularly true when there are delays in meeting client needs in a timely and effective fashion. Communication is the key here, and customers will often become frustrated if they do not know what is happening. Keeping them informed along the way will demonstrate that the instructor and the organization are doing something about their needs rather than ignoring them. Dealing with an angry customer. Dealing with an angry customer takes practice. Careful attention should be paid to tonality of voice, verbal and body language. Be assertive but never aggressive. Aggressive use of language. Don't speak to me like that. With that attitude, how do you expect to resolve this? Shut up, otherwise I will not continue this conversation. Assertive use of language. I'd prefer it if you didn't speak to me in that way. I understand your frustration. Could you calm down so that we can begin to resolve this? If you persist to use bad language, I will be unable to continue this conversation. Organizational procedures. Following the organization's procedures ensures that the organization and their employees are communicating from common ground. By ensuring a consistency of response, everyone is treated both equally and fairly, and a positive image of the company is maintained. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Customer doesn't expect everything will go right all the time. The big test is what you do when things go wrong. Remember, every complaint is an opportunity. Learning outcomes. Can you now explain the importance of client care both for the client and the organization? Explain why it is important to deal with clients' needs to their satisfaction. Identify where to source relevant and appropriate information to meet clients' needs. Explain the importance of dealing with any delay in meeting clients' needs timely and effectively. Give examples of how to exceed customer expectations when appropriate. Explain the importance of handling client complaints positively following an organization's procedure.